Welcome back to this session where we are going to do multiplication of decimals. So multiplication of decimals, we are going to start with our first example, which is going to be 0.5 times 20. So 0.5 times 20, the first thing we do is that we are going to assume the decimal and multiply without it, so that we are going to say 5 times 20. So 20 times 5, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 2 is 10. So here we have 100. Remember we had 0.5. 0.5 is to 1 decimal place. So in our answer, we are going to put 1 decimal place. You count from the right. So from here, count once, so that we have 10.0. Now the 0 at the end, the 0 that comes at the end after a decimal has no value. So our answer is equivalent to 10. We go to the next to say 0.12 times 11. So we are going to assume that this number has no decimal, so that we say 12 times 11. So what is 12 times 11? 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Put a 0 to indicate that you are now multiplying by the tens. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Add that and you're going to get 2, 3, 1. Remember we had decimals here, 1, 2 to 2 decimal places. So you're going to also count 1, 2 from the right and put your decimal. So your answer now is 1.32. Now let's work on the third question. The third question could be 6.24 times 12. So how do we work this out? 6.24 times 12. So again, ignore the decimal so that you say it is 624 times 12. 624 times 12 is 2 times 4, 8, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 6, 12. Now you're going to multiply with the tens, so you put a 0 to indicate that you are now going to the tens. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 6 is 6. Add this and we get 8, 8, 4, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So that your answer now is 7488. Now remember you had decimal places. How many decimal places did we have? We had 2. 1, 2. So from the right in our answer, we are going to count 1, 2 and put the decimal place there. So that our answer is 74.88. I think we can do a third example. We can do the third example. No, the fourth. This is the fourth. The fourth example, where we'll say 19 times 3.36. So forget the decimal and say 19 times 336. So how do we multiply that? So 9 times 6, 54. 9 times 3, 27. 27 plus 5, 32. Good. Carry the 3. 9 times 3, 27 plus 3. Should have gotten 30. Then we multiply now with the tens. Put a 0 and say 1 times 6, 6. 1 times 3, 3. 1 times 3, 3. Good. And then you add. Now in our question, we had 2 decimal places in this number. So that means in our answer, we are going to count 2 from the right. 1, 2 from the right and put our decimal place there. So your answer is 63.84. Now let's look at a question where you have to multiply two decimal numbers, where you have to multiply two decimal numbers. For example, is a question 5. You have 0.5 times 0.3. Ignore the decimals so that you say 5 times 3. What is 5 times 3? 15. But we have how many decimal places? We have 1 here and we have 1 here. So how many are they all together? We have 2 decimal places. So here in your answer, you're going to count from the right and count 1, 2. Then here you're going to put a 0 so that your answer is 0.15. Let's look at another question where you have 0.06 times 0.07. Ignore the decimals and say 6 times 7, 42. And then you count the decimals, 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here. So there are 4 decimal places. So in your answer, you're going to count 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So you're going to put a 0 here and a 0 so that your answer is 0.00, then 42. And that is your answer. Let's do the last one. Could you do the last one? Let's do a last one where you have a number like 20.9 times 4.5. So what do? Ignore the decimal points so that you say it is 209 times 45. How do we work 209 times 45? We arrange it that way so that you say 5 times 9, 45. Carry the 4. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 4, that's 4. 5 times 2, that's 10. Put a 0, we are now going to work with the tens. 4 times 9, 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 3, 3. 4 times 2, 8. Add this, 5, 10, 4, and 9. So count the number of decimal places that you had in your question. Here you had 1 and 1. So there are how many? 2 decimal places. So in your answer, you're going to count 2 from the right. 1, 2. So your decimal should be here. So your answer is 94.05. And with those few examples, I hope you are going to be able to multiply decimals by decimals. If you like this video or if it has been of help to you, please click like.